I'm Sandro, this is Juanito, and he worked at dealerships for 10 plus years before I hired his first clip.
This is full
Lug nuts popped off right after I left the dealership.
Chrysler, Dodge, Platinum Dodge.
All the lug nuts?
Get a tire rotation.
Oh, all of them.
I almost got on the highway, but I needed gas. Got lucky. I got my 2 babies in the car.
Oh, man.
Oh, that sucks.
And my wife's pregnant.
No.
Well, that was putting in work, though.
6 lug nuts?
Yeah, that's wild.
They're probably just hand threaded on.
What steps would you take to make sure that that car is leaving properly? Because obviously this guy didn't take those steps.
Yeah, there'd be
Like
a standard procedure that we'd always do, and it got pushed on us pretty hard on the early years. 6 lug nuts, you would have to drive them in by hand. You would have to go ahead and you obviously would hit them with the impact, and then you'll go ahead and recheck your work again with the torque wrench to make sure that you actually got all the lug nuts in. And this will be for every single wheel that you'll be doing this to. You'll triple check it sometimes. So what I can tell you from what I can see off of this, I mean, from a dealership standpoint, you are always in a rush. There's no way around it. You're always in a rush because you want to jump on that next job. So maybe this guy forgot to double check his work, and unfortunately this ended up happening to him.
I have a question. Has that ever happened to you at a dealership where you left something like that loose?
In the beginning years when we were lube techs, yeah, we would run into that. And for that reason, they will always tell us, torque them down, and they always implemented, having a torque wrench around all the time. But yes, this does happen at the dealer.
Question again. Did it happen to you though, Juanito?
To me, in my early years, it did once.
There you go. This is real mechanic stuff, not that fake. Let me get that next clip.
He almost put $1,700 worth of work in his Chevy that it didn't need.
Brought it to us. They had it at the dealership where they live, and they were told it needed fuel injectors.
Okay.
Fuel injectors on this car are pretty costly, pretty time consuming, so they wanted a second opinion. Yeah, you could see that rear oxygen sensor was the one reporting correctly. You could see all the soot and carbon built up from it running extremely rich. I'll still flow the injectors for the guy just to prove it out, but he doesn't need injectors.
So a couple $100 instead of $1,700 basically.
So homeboy went from the dealership to another shop.
That's misdiagnosis right there.
Yeah.
It sucks. I mean, we're all human, but when it comes down to recommendations, you have to be careful because this is always something that's going to come up. Somebody is going to review what you're recommending if they feel like, you're just trying to sell something.
Yeah.
They're going to look at it. And somebody usually is in charge of looking at it. That it made it this far is kind of unfortunate because usually it's always contained within inside the dealership.
Your main guy would tell you, hey, you know what? Like, are you serious? Like, you really want to switch out the motor for some spark plugs?
Yeah.
Like,
you're always gonna have somebody at least giving you a little buffer. Like, hey, you might want to review that, or you might want to review it before you go ahead and follow through with this. Or hey, the customer said yes.
Oh,
and you better make sure that fixes the car, because if you don't fix the car, that's when you're the bad guy and you're gonna get written up for that.
I mean, sometimes you do have to get a second opinion. Remember, we're all out there to make money. That's the truth. Whether it be the dealer, whether it be a small shop, we're here to make money. The dealer usually recommends all of this stuff. That doesn't mean you have to do it. It sucks because you're going by what they're saying, but they could give you a book, right, Juanito? They could give you a book, and it's up to you if you want to buy the whole Harry Potter book. They give you a big list.
And now for a Mechanic Minute brought to you by Valvoline. Today, we'll show you how to change your oil. Sandro, where do we start?
First thing you want to do is get this bad boy off the floor. I'm lucky I have a lift, but if you don't, but make sure you put jack stands under and be safe, put it in the right points so this bad boy doesn't fall on you or move.
And once you get your car off the ground, first thing you want to do is locate the drain bolt. Then get you a pan or some sort of catch can to put it underneath, because that's where all the oil is going to be dumping. And make sure you drain it completely.
Now don't forget, let this bad boy cool down a little bit because you don't want to burn yourself.
Hot oil. After all the oil is drained, put your drain bolt back in.
So the next thing you're gonna do is change the oil filter. And using a special tool, whatever your car needs. But have an oil pan next to you, just in case it drips a little bit, because it does. And then you install the oil filter.
After draining the old oil, put the drain plug back in, remove your oil filler cap, drop in a funnel, and pour in your new oil. We're using Valvoline's Restore and Protect. It's the first and only motor oil to remove up to 100% of deposits with continuous use.
Next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna check the oil dipstick, make sure the levels are right. Check it out. Gucci. And now, Let's turn it on and let's see if we have any leaks under it.
That is how you change your oil. To learn more about Valvoline's Restore and Protect motor oil, click the link below.
Next clip.
Yet another Kia. This time the customer brought it to us because the dealer messed it up. And now after they drilled the block twice and didn't clean it up, and they put in what seems to be 9 bottles of head gasket sealer, there's no way we're rebuilding this one.
Somebody f***ed up.
There's no way. It looks like somebody just tried to flag some hours without actually doing the work.
Oh,
If that's what I was able to hear from that audio, they put, head gasket sealer at the dealer.
No, yeah.
Yeah, right. Somebody was just trying to flag some hours and just get this car out of the shop,
That's kind of like, maybe he f***ed up or something, like in the form of like, he didn't know what he was doing.
It could be anything. They're just trying to be dishonest. It's the fastest way I could say it.
That's a quick repair, right?
Yeah.
So they're not supposed to do that at the dealership, right?
No.
You guys are not allowed to do that?
No, I don't know how they work at the low end, at the entry level vehicles, sorry.
Kia. Have you ever f***ed up in the dealer and not told them and let it go out like that? Like let the car just, it's not going to be a big deal,
At the dealership, unfortunately, there's always a snitch. There's always a mole, so no. Unfortunately, no. Next clip.
Today you came in with a check engine light and a concern that there's no boost. After looking at the vehicle, I found heavy modifications done to it. From the blow-off valve here, which is controlled by said boost, this intercooler, piping,
silicone piping.
All of this needs to be returned to stock for a Subaru trained technician to repair this.
Yep.
Or look at it further.
Yep.
That being said, your service writer will talk to you more. Thank you.
That fool said heavily modded. Wow, I was like waiting for like a big turbo.
Reverse clock turbo sitting on the top, something crazy. So basically, at the dealership side now, me as a technician, vehicle comes in and it has anything in that's not factory is deemed not factory, not warrantable. Anything on it, an air filter would cause it, depending how picky the tech is. But yes, it is very true. If they see any modifications, they will deem it not warrantable, and they'll flag your car on the back end too.
So you would see a baby hose on there like this modded. Would you be that guy? Would you be that guy? Be like, this Mercedes is modded up that.
I am out of that dealership scenario now, so I could openly say, yeah. Why? Because you have to see it on the other side also. Mm-hmm. You're the technician. You have this car that's been modified. The customer's playing with the vehicle. You don't want to be doing warranty work for something that somebody's messing with.
I mean, it makes sense, but I mean...
Yeah, but if the car comes back, it's your responsibility now. The car came back blown up. The car came back with now another check engine light. Guess what? Now we're talking about the other stuff that happens on the background.
It's like a dad that gives you a toy and says, don't play with it. Don't play with your cars when you buy it from the dealer.
Next clip.
Dealerships be This is what happens when you take stuff to the dealer to get diagnosed. We took this one to the Kia dealer, and they told us that the fuel rail pressure sensor was needing to be replaced. That's this little guy right here.
Right.
Only $130 for that part. Problem is, they call for between 7 and 8 hours labor for this, because they say the entire intake manifold has to come off to be able to access the sensor, which is set just behind it. Turns out, all you got to do is pop off the alternator, just 2 bolts. And with a 1 16th inch socket, you can stick it right up in there on the sensor. And you have easy access to pop the sensor right out.
How long did it take him? I mean, he's not even done yet.
Only took me 30 minutes.
Not yet.
Dealer wanted to charge $800.
That's one that I'm gonna go totally against, and I'm gonna fight that guy all the way through on that one. But okay,
let's hear it.
At the end of the day, we live in an age where YouTube and there's a bunch of guys out there leaking out information on how to do all these things.
RMS and Donut. What's up with you guys? And then?
So when they initially set up this, I don't know Kia. I don't know how their manufacturing works or how their labor times work. But a lot of times when it's this, they have to take in part diagnostic. So it's not just replacing this item. Everything has a labor line behind it. So there's a reason behind that. It's not just simply replacing this.
Let's just say in their programming it says take off the intake manifold, take off this, take off that.
That's what to follow it.
So they have to follow those steps. Maybe yes, there's gonna be people down the line that do learn shortcuts and learn this. But if that's what the dealer is saying, then that's what they're gonna do.
It's not like there's shortcuts there and you're able to do shortcuts. Why? There's always a molded dealer.
You're cool because you figured it out, but I'm pretty sure it didn't take you 30 minutes. I'm mad now. Juanito, give me next clip, dude.
Next clip.
So you just buy your Supra and they're pulling it out for you. Oh yeah, that's my car. Nice. No ice. Oh.
Well, it was my car.
He says, well, it was my car.
That sucks. Like you just bought a bad car and they scratch you right there in the spot. What? Juanito.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Yeah,
how many times have you
me no
done it, Juanito? How many times have you scratched a new car coming out?
Usually as a tech, you mess up a car, you're getting fired.
Oh,
9 times out of 10, you're getting fired. The sale can drop, but then again, there's a lot of variables there too. What I have to tell you is, why the hell wasn't the spotter letting him know that he was gonna smack it? You see, he has a spotter there.
Because he's probably like a little Juanito, isn't it? Right?
No,
I mean, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm playing. I'm playing. He's mad. He's mad. I'm just playing around. I'm playing.
If the manager's pissed off, yeah, he'll fire everybody that was involved. Off with their heads.
On to the next clip.
That time the coworker put the Tesla in plate mode. In the parking lot.
Me.
Ooh.
You good, Joe? Like for real?
You good? Wow. Like at this point, it's like you're fired, obviously.
That's really irresponsible, and that level of damage for that car and all the other cars launching the car in a parking lot.
What is plate mode? I don't even know what that is.
Plaid mode.
Plaid. You know,
has that ever happened at the Mercedes dealership where like somebody takes out a Mercedes GT and just spins out and crashes it?
There's always. Not gonna say.
No, we almost had him. You saw that, guys? You know, we almost had him. He was about to be like, well, there's a guy named Pancho right here, and then I remember his birthday. And imagine that's a customer's car and you took it out. You're not allowed to take the car outside?
You're only allowed to take the vehicle, and to be specific, we were always scorned that due to insurance purposes, we could only make rights even in a road test.
Also, like you're going back into the dealership.
Yeah. Right, right, back into the dealership.
How's it right into McDonald's, right out of McDonald's?
As long as it has a right turn, you'll be good.
And right back to the dealership.
But yeah. Next clip.
It looks like we have some hydrophobics.
Oh.
This is the ceramic coating from the dealership, but we're going to put it through a torture test. We're going to show you why it's not a legitimate ceramic coating. Ceramic coating is a hardened form of protection. We're going to use some super clean here. It should be resistant to this. Coatings are chemically resistant. So we're going to put this all over the surface. We go back through and we start to rinse. And this driver's side panel, the hydrophobics are already gone. We've already killed the coating because, let's be honest, it's not a coating. It's just a sealant.
I mean, let's be real. Some of the they sell you is bull. Am I right, Juanito? Sometimes, like, let's just say, I feel like I'm putting my boy on blast, but it's like you go to the dealer and they tell you, well, guess what? We could powder coat your rims, and somebody in the back just rattle canning your right? And then they say, you know what? We could wrap it with this coating that'll protect it from the sun, a hawk landing on it, or some bum just on your car. It's gonna protect it. At the end of the day, it's all.
They also offer it for interiors, and it's also what you said.
All of a sudden, you just want to say it.
I'm gonna openly say that this is probably gonna be something from like sales.
You see some guys at the dealer, they're all lined up and with their beard,
wearing suits,
hair to the side, and it's like perfect. Man, like Hugo, you're like, dang, you smell juicy, my dude. And then you buy this for no reason. You know what? Let me sell you guys some other and the next clip too.
2017 F-150. Customer brought it in because he said the left rear brake was locking up while turning. So the pads look perfectly fine. Looking at the rotor, something's been rubbing outside the rotor. And what I got to noticing was the caliper bridge had marks from the rotor, indicating this wheel is coming in and out. The only way that can happen is
axle broke.
If your C-clip's missing. And upon further inspection, looking, the axle's actually broke.
Yeah.
Never seen that happen before.
They've been having some issues like this. I actually saw a TSB when we were looking at, sometimes I look at new TSBs and there is one out from Ford for the axles. So this is a failure that's out there.
Yeah, but I mean, he's talking about, this is a
manufacturer defect, you know?
Yeah, sometimes when you buy these used auction cars, you got to check the recalls.
Every single vehicle that comes in, it has a gross profit that the vehicle needs to make. What ends up happening is you have to give them an estimate. How much is it going to cost to fix this unit? If it exceeds the amount that you were told that you can't surpass, auction. You end up with this.
Cars are weird. Cars are pain. Go get a shirt. Next clip.
All right, this video is for all you dealers out there. This is a single mother. She just bought this CLA hoping it was going to be a good car. She had to check engine light. Look at that. I mean, come on, guys.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the name of the dealer. But, like, really? You guys didn't see that? Her brakes were down to the metal. She's got mismatched tires all the way around. All the fender liners are missing. And then besides that, her rear tires are not even the same sizes. And then this tire right here in the front,
they put a 245.
It's completely bald.
Damn, what's up with that sidewalk, baby?
And she paid top dollar for this.
It's a Mercedes, obviously, but is it a used dealer?
That would be a really good question.
Because I don't think a dealer would let
it wouldn't pass. That
safety. Wouldn't pass. The tires itself.
It wouldn't pass safety. There's a minimum, millimeters that you need to have on the tires. It wouldn't pass.
And a little more baller dealer wouldn't leave that wheel all scuffed up. And then obviously
the charge
pipes are blown.
Well, it's the intake.
Yeah, they're broken.
Pipe. Yeah, but
they're broken. And once again, a dealer usually does do what they call as a full cleanup. They will clean the engine bay like crazy because they want everything to look nice and shiny. And this one looks like it didn't even get washed. For the people out there, what do they have to check when they're gonna buy a used car or a new car from a dealer or from anywhere?
Most people, if they don't know what to look for, they wouldn't be able to look at. Or what they could look at, just pay somebody to go out and inspect the vehicle for them and be able to do all these things. That would be my recommendation there. It's like
this one right here, that will scare you. These repairs are expensive, my guys.
Expensive.
They're not cheap.
That would be an auction car.
Juanito, it was awesome having you here.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you guys.
You know what? We need to get the cars ready because Angie and Steph are talking. RMS, baby. Deuces.